Hey Siobhan, so here's a quick screencast to show you how your followers can order Biomfx. So if they already have an existing account, all they need to do is log in to their account and that option will be revealed to them. If they don't have an account, then we just give them your patient direct link, right? So if we just send them to the website without a link, then they actually need to put in your code in here. So that would be this one. If not, if we actually give them a link in the marketing material that already includes that code, then that link would already be pre-filled for them. So then, and then they can't change it either. So let's set up a quick test account as if I were one of your patients/followers. So first name, last name, email address, and that's it really, and password of course. So once they've registered, they are automatically redirected to the shop page. There's no other step in between. So if I want to order Biomfx, the starting point is going to be this option right here, register kit. So we've already set the pricing in your account for $3.99. So let me go ahead and in this option right now. Okay, so here we are at the Biomfx registration form. So a couple of notes here. If they need to make any changes in their personal information, so for the patient version of this form, they can make the edits directly in here, right? So what we tell them to do is actually update their profile. So if there's a mistake in their last name, email address, then they would just go to their profile and make an update here. So let's say I want to correct my last name to something. I would change it here, and then I would come back and place the order properly under my proper name. So here's that update right here. So we made another important note here is that for trackability purposes across different systems and multiple databases, we only allow the Biomfx stool test to be in the cart when you check out. So what that means is that you cannot combine supplements purchases with lab purchases. They just need to be in two separate orders. We made it really seamless so that if you do have products in cart, we clear the cart for you, give you a notice, and we make it very clear that that's how we want this process to work. And we made it really clear to empty your cart and start over. We haven't had any issues so far. So I have my personal information filled in. So now let's go to the next step, which is the kit barcode. So now this barcode number, it's an 8-digit number that is located on the collection tube itself. So it's really, really important that we make it extra clear and obvious where they get this number from. We've had issues where folks have been putting in just a number like this just to bypass the system, or they've put in the tracking number, the UPS tracking number that's on the prepaid label. That's not what we're looking for. It's an 8-digit code on the collection tube itself. And so, of course, since we've seen some of these issues, we've added extra validation. So this will only take an 8-digit long number. But again, we definitely want to overemphasize this aspect because this number is what ties everything together, right? So this is what associates your sample with your account. So if this is wrong or it's not trackable anywhere, that's an issue. So that's the kit barcode. So we asked that you type it in twice to make sure that it's accurate. And now the extra option that we also have here for patients is the last 4 of the Social Security number. Now we ask for the last 4 because it's something they'll remember. And so we use this when the lab is downloaded. So you'll see this in the future. But again, it's important that this is also filled in accurately with a number at the very least they remember. And that's why we're asking for the last 4 of the social. So I'm just going to put in something here that's not mine. And then we'll go to the next step. All right, so now here we are at checkout. So I'm going to fill out the billing details, and I already have. And so I'm going to say my shipping address is the same as my billing address to keep things moving. So now let's review what we're actually buying, right? So here's the registration that I just pre-filled. So here's what I'm paying for. But I also have a separate line item here that says Biomfx stool kit. So this is what we send to them, right? So this is what's going to come to them. That's their collection kit, and that's what they're going to also have the prepaid envelope or prepaid label to send the kit back. So let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, so now let's take a quick look at a simplified version of the communication that the patient's going to get. So one of them will be, of course, some type of receipt, right, for what they just purchased. The other email they're going to get is a request to fill out a questionnaire. So this questionnaire is important for for us and for maybe adding context to the results themselves. And so what we do here is we have a link in here that we expect the patients to fill out. So if you follow this link, it will essentially take you to this questionnaire, and you know, it's fairly straightforward. They can fill this out, and then we would know if they have submitted this questionnaire and associate this questionnaire with their lab itself. Okay, so I placed the lab, and it is now shipping a collection kit to my shipping address. And so once I receive it, I obviously use the collection kit, and I send it back. So now once the sample is received by our lab facility, what happens, right? What are the notifications down that road? So initially an order will go into awaiting kit return status, right? So that means, again, we're waiting for the kit to come back to us. So I can go and see that in orders, where you normally see any other order. But I also have this main feature here, and this is what really we need to promote as how you check on the status of your lab, and also how you retrieve the lab results themselves, is you go to My Account, and then you go to Labs. So in here, we have a little bit more information, and we also have some options, right? So in this case, again, I'm just stating that the lab is in awaiting kit return status, so we're waiting for that to come back. If I had any issues with the questionnaire, I can resend it to myself. So sometimes, again, it gets stuck in spam. Maybe there's some other email deliverability issue. So I can just take an action here and actually resend the questionnaire. And then I can just simply see a receipt of the order. So now let's pretend like this lab has been received, so you can kind of see more of the status changes. And then finally, the lab has been uploaded, and now we can actually see the lab results. So the lab has now been uploaded, and the lab is now marked as completed. So I've been notified, and in order for me to retrieve the lab results, we don't get an email. We don't email lab results. You have to come back to the website, be logged in, and then go to My Account, back to Labs, and then you have this new option here that says Request Download. So click this option, and here we are with the last four of your social security number. So we set this to 1111, and then I click Download. So then what we do is we generate the lab result, and we can now open it. However, the lab result itself is encrypted, and it has a password associated with it, right? So at all times, whenever this lab is stored on the end user's computer, it's at the very least passworded. So the password, of course, is also your last four. So this is, again, an important note to make, is that this sort of last four of your social follows you throughout the system. So 1111, and here it is with the sample sort of lab results that we have. And that concludes the sort of ordering process, you know, the interim sort of processing process, and then getting the lab results.